Well, someone here to inspire you to take more adventures and to go big or go home is John Kedrowski, big time, long time local. And you have been adventuring and getting on the summits and going internationally to take these big trips and these big adventures. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's great to be here.
Well, we were just chatting a little bit about all of the big accomplishments that you've had, and just one of them that we were talking about is going to Everest, and then also you've gone to Denali. Tell me a little bit about where you've traveled and what your books are about.
Well, I mean, I started out climbing here in Colorado first as a young kid, and then that sort of piqued my interest in going to other parts of the world, and so I made it a goal to climb the 7 summits, and so I've been to the different continents over the years, starting with going to Asia and in Europe, and then from there it sort of expanded it to Everest and Nepal and then South America, and then I've been up on Denali a few times in Alaska, and then from there it was wanting to write books, and the books actually started here in Colorado with a project called Sleeping on the Summits back in 2011, 2012, and that's where the first book, Sleeping on the Summits, came from.
And I have
then
your
from
other
there
copy
I expanded
as well.
and kind of grew out what I do through that and through guiding and traveling. And so yeah, I sort of use the adventure as a vehicle to inspire others to also, everyone has dreams and goals in life, and so mountains are that metaphor for life too. And so then you can say, well, hey, plan your own adventures and get out there and do it. And so that's sort of my goal now with the projects that I do.
And so you cover mountaineering and skiing and getting out into the backcountry. I know that you also offer a lot of safety tips as well. Tell me a little bit about the classic Colorado ski descents, because I know you've kind of gone out there and you've kind of paved your own way for getting down the mountains after you've hiked up.
Yeah, so Classic Colorado Ski Descents just came out a month ago. Really excited about this new book. It covers 7 mountain ranges in Colorado. It covers about 300 different ski lines, actually. So there's 70 entries, but in every single entry there's maps and descriptions, and it ranges from easy skied lines near the Front Range near Denver, all the way over here towards the Gore Range, and then towards the Elk Range, and really covers the breadth of Colorado skiing. But also the goal with the book is to educate people about being safe in the backcountry. Pre-trip planning is in there, a lot about weather and climate, which I'm kind of an expert in.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of tips in the front material and throughout the book about how people can go out and enjoy their own adventures, but be safe in those adventures.
And now you are a doctor in weather and climate, and so you know a lot about how to be safe and how to kind of gauge what those conditions are going to be like before you go.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of it's studying the weather beforehand, but then getting out there, assessing snowpack. I also encourage people to take an avalanche course. There's a lot of offerings in the valley and other parts of Colorado to get educated in what you're doing. And then that allows you to go out there, be safe, make the proper decisions. And I'm on faculty here in the valley too, so I'm on faculty at Colorado Mountain College. And so through the courses I teach there, weather and climate, as well as environmental science. So it's about being an active steward of our Mother Earth here.
Of the great outdoors. And then you're going to be chatting tonight with John Fielder, your fellow adventurer photographer at the Antlers. That's going to be at 6:30. What can we expect when we come tonight?
Yeah, well, we love photography, and so both my books I've been really fortunate to cross paths with John Fielder, who's a iconic Colorado photographer. He's done several books that have been well known over the years. He actually wrote the foreword in my first book, and then he has a book called A Colorado Winter, and then my book called Classic Colorado Ski Descents. And so we're sort of doing a crossover of our sort of tricks of the trade, me being more the skier, and he's also a skier, but he's an extremely talented photographer. So at the show we'll share some stories. He'll share a lot of tips on how to get the shot, basically, when you're out there. And then I'll mix that with my pre-trip planning and gear selection, as well as a few sort of stories of being out there.
And now, any big adventures coming up that you're pre-trip planning for?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I'm always out here training in Colorado. It's the best place to train. I was out this weekend down in southern Colorado. So I'll get out and climb peaks and then get out and ski most of the winter at Vail. And then, I 2 or 3 trips a year I get hired to take people to different places, but then I also get to kind of do my own trips on the side too. And so, yeah, I'll be going back to Nepal actually in 2018. And then I've got another sort of secret adventure planned, and so you'll have to stay tuned for that.
Well, we're excited to chat with you about your secret adventure and then also about your trip to Nepal again when you come back. So stay safe and have fun, and then we will see you tonight at the Antlers at 6:30 p.m. So you can come meet John later this evening. Coming up next, Claire's going to let you know what that weather forecast is looking like for the rest of the week.